So I don't want to do that to you this morning, especially on a Saturday morning. So and if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to stop me and I'll do my best to answer them. The issue of benefits is complex, so I'm guessing that I will not know every answer or everything that you ask. And if that's the case, I'm more than willing to go back and find the answer for you, or to help you connect with somebody who does know the answer. And I'm also going to share the PowerPoint with Robert so he can send it out to all of you at the end, and it'll have my contact information as well. So we're going to start with Social Security. And just generally, 168 million people work and pay into Social Security. About 60 million receive benefits. And that includes people that are retired, people with disabilities, survivors of deceased workers, and dependents of beneficiaries. Social Security, when you pay into Social Security, you pay into a system, not a personal account, and about 6% of your earnings go towards Social Security, up to about $118,000 per year. If you're self-employed, you end up paying about 12% of your Social Security into the system. And what that equates to is about 15 cents on the dollar goes to assisting people with disabilities, and your monthly Social Security benefits, if you're a disabled worker, can be around $1,100 per month. If you have a spouse and child and are have a disability, that goes up just slightly to $1,198. So how does Social Security in general work? You work and you pay taxes, and you get a certain number of credits per amount that you earn. In 2016, you get one credit for every $1,260 that you earn. And in order to be eligible for Social Security, you have to earn at least 40 credits or work 10 years. And that could be fewer for people with disabilities, people who are younger, or family members who might be eligible for survivor benefits. In order to be apply for Social Security, they look for your Social Security card, birth certificate, proof of citizenship, marriage certificate, and a W-2, as well as your routing number and bank information. So when you go to the Social Security office, make sure you bring that stuff with you, because that'll just speed things along. There's also Social Security Disability Insurance, otherwise known as SSDI. So beyond sort of the general Social Security system, there's benefits for someone who either becomes disabled or has worked and has a disability, but is no longer able to work, maybe because their disability has worsened or something like that. It's different than SSI, Supplemental Security Income. And just because you qualify for disability benefits from another agency doesn't make you eligible for SSDI. So each sort of agency is different. If you apply for SSDI, you can expect sort of a 3-month process. So it can be a a long sort of wait. As I'm sure you all know, just show of hands, can you tell me how many in the room receive SSI or SSDI? So SSI, let me just see how many of you receive SSI.
Never or ever?
Ever. Okay, so let me stop right here. So let me just ask really quick, do you have any immediate questions about SSI before I sort of go into a long, any questions about any sort of benefit? Yep, way in the back.
Okay. What if you make the more money? Do you everything?
I'm sorry? Say it one more time. My hearing, I'm getting old. I'm getting very old.
Yeah, I would.
He said if you make too much money, will they take advantage of that?
So do you receive SSI or SS? Okay, so I'm gonna in terms of SSI, let's talk about what is considered what they consider countable income, and that's things that are gonna impact what the Social Security Administration looks at when they consider your benefits. So when we talk about countable income, the things that are going to affect how much money you receive in terms of SSI, they're going to look at earned income, so the income that you make as a result of work, unearned income, Social Security benefits, any pension, any child support, that sort of thing. You're going to look at in-kind income. So let's say you live with a family member, and instead of paying rent, you're living with your family so you can save money on housing, things like that. They're going to look at that as well. And then they're going to look at what they call deemed income. They're going to look at the income of an individual who may be living in your house. But even though it may not affect you directly, they're going to assume that you benefit from that income coming into the household. Now, all that being said, there are exclusions. So all things considered, once they look at those things, they're going to take a few things away. They're going to take $20 per month of income other than wages. So in addition to your wages, they're going to take $20 away. They're going to take $65 per month, and 1/2 of your wages over $65. Wages that go toward an impairment-related work expense. So things like transportation, personal assistance, and things that make it possible for you to go to work. And the first $30 of infrequent or irregular earned income in a quarter. So let's just say that you do an extra job and you earn some additional money in addition to your regular wages. They're going to take $30 of that away. And they're going to take $60 away from unearned income. So all that to say that there are things that they can sort of exclude when they consider your income. So just because you're working doesn't necessarily mean that your benefits will be affected. Because medical care is also an exclusion. So you would really need to look at sort of how much you're earning and how sort of what is the limit, and just make sure that your income doesn't exceed that limit before your benefits are affected. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for a single person on SSI, what that means is that you cannot have more than $2,000 in assets. If you're married, you can't have more than $3,000 in assets. And if you're under 18, living with both parents, if you're living with one parent, the Social Security Administration doesn't count $2,000 of their income. So they can earn up to $2,000 before the Social Security Administration begins to reduce benefits. And if you're living with both parents, that limit is $3,000. Now, in some states, they've passed what we call the ABLE Act. Have all of you heard of the ABLE Act? And it stands for Achieving a Better Life Experience Act of 2014. And it recognizes, finally, the extra and significant cost of living with a disability, and those things aren't necessarily covered by insurance. So things like housing, personal assistance, transportation, all those things that may not be covered by public benefits are still expenses to you and to us. And it allows you and your family and friends to set aside money that will not impact your benefits. And you can set aside up to $100,000 before the Social Security Administration really takes that money into account. That sort of equates to, or the limit per year annually would be $14,000 that you can set aside in the ABLE account. And they've just recently opened up ABLE accounts, so you can apply for an ABLE account in another state. You can apply really to any state in the United States, and there are some states that aren't open, but the majority of states are open. So you can really look at the account and see which one is administered in a way that's going to be most beneficial to you. So I hope that answers the question. Are there any other questions? I feel like this is more productive than me reading off PowerPoint slides. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna step of it. I'm just curious. For somebody like me that's worked for 30 years, would I be eligible at any time for any type of benefit other than substance, other than using Social Security?
You would be eligible if clearly you would be eligible for Social Security benefits, but you may also be eligible for SSI or Medicaid, depending on sort of need. Medicaid is means tested, and many states have expanded access to Medicaid, so it's impossible for me to recall each state in particular, but it would be worth and you're also eligible for an ABLE account, because what the adult account says is that you have to be or have a disability before the age of 26 in order to establish ABLE account.
Does that also mean tested? Is that also tested against your savings? And
no, an ABLE account is not means tested, so anyone can set up an ABLE account. It's irrespective of your eligibility for any public benefits.
because I've never touched the system. The system doesn't even know I exist. Truthfully.
So yes, so you are able to set up an ABLE account and set aside money for things like housing and transportation without it affecting your other benefits, like Social Security. My understanding is that you would also be eligible for Medicaid. And let me make a distinction here, because I think there's some confusion. At least I had to look it up to clarify for myself. So, and I work for the federal government, so I'm guessing that I'm not the only one that's confused. But with regard to Medicaid and Social Security, Medicaid is just like it sounds, a medical benefit that is means tested. What that means is your eligibility for Medicaid is dependent on your income. Social Security and Social Security disability income are not means tested. They are sort of a cash benefit along with Social Security income, so SSI.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait for the mic.
This is Melissa, who gave me today, and she's gonna be the mic person. So you can all just ask Melissa for the mic.
Okay. Yeah, my voice doesn't carry. Okay. It's not really a question, it's a comment, and for those of you who know me, I'm gonna keep this brief. Okay. So I just wanted to mention, one of the things that they don't tell you right off the bat, unless you talk to someone who actually knows what they're talking about, is the fact that student loans, or not student loans, money from the federal government for like student aid and stuff is actually excluded from the income that they count with SSDI and SSI. And so, just keep that in mind, because they're not supposed to include that. And what happened was, I attended Salisbury University, and the second time around, because I had a medical leave, they didn't know exactly what I was receiving loan-wise for federal aid, and so they actually docked me for 1 month for April 2014, and I've had to go around for 3 months trying to get this worked out. But I paid $400 in overpayment benefits, and I'm just getting that back. So just make sure if you have a student loan, they do not, financial aid, that they're not recognizing, because they changed how the federal aid was dispersed. That you make sure that that's not counted as income with your SSI or SSDI. So just keep that in mind, guys.
So thank you so much for that, because it brings up just something else I wanted to mention. Other things that aren't considered within that sort of income or asset limit. A home that you own or that your family owns, a car, at least up to $4,500 value of the car. So if you or your family own a car, wedding ring, so that's not considered in your asset limit. If any of you are any of you working on a past plan, a plan for achieving self sufficiency? If you do have a past plan set up to, I remember I had one, or I tried to do one for getting a service dog, and so I would set aside some of my benefits every month. If you're doing that sort of plan, those savings actually aren't counted in the asset limit. So, money saved in a individual development account is not considered as well. And hopefully you won't use this, but also if you're saving for your burial, that money is not considered. So hopefully none of you will use that soon, but that's.
Yeah, that's one of the first questions they asked you. They even asked me that at 18. I was like, I'm 18. It's $250 is what they allow you to start with.
Yeah.
What about like wedding dresses?
Wedding dress, I think that's considered not the same sort of category as a wedding ring. Any other questions?
I have two. One is, can you, if you're on SSDI, can you open up a enable account?
Yes, you can. It does not affect your SSDI like benefits
Okay.
in any way, shape, or form.
And then to help pay for my AIDS, I'm on the EPD waiver program, which is kind of means tested. And what was the other question? You just mentioned the past program?
Right.
What's that about? Because I've never heard of it.
So, with Social Security benefits, if you develop a past plan, you say to your sort of Social Security rep or counselor that you are interested sort of in making or taking steps toward independence, and that you would like to. For me, it was I'm getting a service dog. I don't have a service dog right now because my service dog passed away a few months ago. But
I'm sorry.
And thank you. But when I was first considering getting a service dog many years ago, I wanted to potentially train the dog myself, and I knew that it would take a considerable amount of money and a considerable amount of time, and I was receiving benefits at this time, and so I wanted to set up a past plan so that I could set aside some of my benefits income to train and get a dog. So your goal on a past plan really depends on what you're hoping to achieve, but that is something that I talked to a Social Security representative about. They have to approve the past plan, and you sort of have to have a plan for saving that money and setting it aside, and a really defined goal in mind. But it is possible, and it does work. So.
I'll check into those.
Yeah. definitely, it's well worth it. It's kind of a lot of work to get it set up and approved, but it's completely worth it. Yes?
I was gonna say, how long do you have to have it, like, how long do you have to get it, how long do you have to have them approve it before they approve it? Like, do you have to give it 6 months notice, or?
It's been a while. Sharon, did you ever do a past one?
Yes, I
Do you remember? Do you remember?
No, I just go back at least 25 years ago.
Yeah. What I do remember, quite honestly, is that it took like at least 3 months. So it's not something that's going to happen overnight. So you need to sort of think ahead and plan ahead. But if it's something that you think you might want to do, I think it's worth sort of beginning that process. If you change your mind, you can almost abandon your past and sort of start over. But it might be worth looking into. Any other questions?
What a black friend is.
Yeah. Say it one more time.
Can you explain
Can I explain?
what a black friend is?
Can I explain what a past plan is?
Yeah.
So, it's something that you want to achieve, to increase your independence. Maybe you want to get a service dog. Maybe you want to take a class, and you need to set aside money for that class. Or maybe, Cheryl, what was your past plan? Do you remember?
I think it was for a computer. I had my age, but I think it was to buy a desktop computer with the assistive technology I use.
Okay. So yeah, it can be anything that is going to help you be more independent.
Okay, whatever if you
What happened?
live gambling.
Say it one more time. What happens if
I don't live on my own. I am a group home.
Okay, so a past plan still works if it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter who you live with, it doesn't matter where you live. The past plan is still valid. It has to do with you being more independent. So if you personally want a computer, so that you can, let's just say, look for a job, right? It doesn't matter where you live. You can live with your family, you can live in a group home, you can live independently. That aspect of being independent is still valid, regardless.
Who do you see, Nadia, to start one?
The Social Security Administration, so if you have a contact or a representative at the Social Security Administration, your local office, that would be the person I would see.
I go to my people because I live. Take care of they take care.
They take care of it.
Yeah.
So here's one thing I would recommend. I would actually advocate for you to sit with them while they contact the Social Security Administration, and have that conversation with them, so that you're directly involved in the conversation. So is there any way that you could maybe ask them to call when you're around, and you could be part of the conversation?
I need to look somebody in the
He needs to talk to somebody in your group home?
in the company.
In the company.
In the company?
Yeah.
I think it would be well worth it for you to be involved in the conversation as much as possible. Because the past plan is really about someone deciding what they need to be more independent, or what they want to do, what their goals are. So maybe it's just having access to a computer so you can look for things on the internet yourself, or maybe even getting a cell phone so you can make phone calls on your own, with assistance or without assistance. So it's those sorts of things. So I think it's really important to begin that conversation with someone in the group home, but you be involved in the conversation. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You mentioned are they part of Social Security?
I don't believe they are part of Social Security. I believe it's something completely separate. But I would have to look it up and do a little research. I'm willing to do that research, and I'll get back to you.
No problem. I can do it. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat that question? What to do with the IRA? What was your question?
Yeah, I would say that the individual development account. I'm wondering, is that through SSA?
No, I believe it's something completely separate. But I don't want to speak out of turn, so
Okay.
What did he say?
Are you awake, Joe? I was asking, I thought I was going to send the individual development account. So I was asking if that was part of Social Security or another different department.